Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a new series. It's going to be the first episode in Try It Tuesday, where I test out a brand new palette. So I am going to be trying out this palette on camera for you. This is the Balms What's the Tea. This is what it looks like. I'm going to show you how I got this look, give you my final thoughts. I'll tell you if I liked it or not. So yeah, definitely stick around for that. Before we get into the video, make sure you are subscribed. Make sure your notification bell is turned on. And yeah, if you want to see how I got this look and what my thoughts are on this palette, then stick around. Okay, so I have primed my eyes. I used my MAC Paint Pot. The What's the Tea palette has two primers in it. They've got their natural base and they've got like a dark base, which will change the tone of the shadows. I'll play around with those a little bit later. I just want to see how the eyeshadows are. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 mattes. Looks like 1 satin, 2 satins. I don't know. These two kind of look satiny, and then we've got some like metallic looking ones. So I'm not sure what formulas we've got. So I used a base that I am familiar with because I want to see how the shadows perform. So we're just going to do, I'm hoping to make this part of a series where I, every Tuesday, try a new palette. I've got a stack of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over there. So with this, we got a month and a half's worth. So yeah, this is the What's the Tea Hot Tea Shadow Palette, warm shades with eyelid primer from the Balm. So I'm going to go into Ooh La La. I'll try and move my mirror out of the way here. So we're going to go into this neutral shade. And I'll probably just do the one eye on camera. And then maybe go back and do the other eye. That way we're not here for an eternity. I just want to see how these work. This seems like a fun palette. Like I said, they give you the two bases because putting a black base down will change, obviously, the way the metallics look on the lid versus putting a light base. So that's, I think, a fun option for people. Gives you something different to experiment with. I'm going to try and set the palette right there. I've got my color switch. Okay, so then we're going to go into Hey Girl Hey, which is this matte kind of red color. Putting that in a little bit lower than where I put the brown, and then we're going to take it up into the brown. I will say there's a lot of kick up when I tap on dab, put my brush in the pan, and I'm not putting it in very hard. I'm being pretty gentle, but I don't see a lot of fallout. So that's good. Just keep in mind, don't like go digging your brush in there because there is quite a bit of kick up. But once it's on the brush, it stays on the lid. So I'm going to go back in there with that red again. And we're just going to deepen it. So far, these seem to be pigmented and they're blending out nicely, which is good. I like the Balm. I haven't used a ton of their shadows. I only have one other palette, and I think I've used it maybe 3 or 4 times. I remember their form. It's been a while since I've used that palette. I remember it being pretty pigmented and blendable. I don't think the Balm's formula is bad. They're one of those brands that I remember years ago on YouTube, everybody was talking about. They were very, very popular. Their style of packaging was very innovative, I think, for the time, because they do kind of vintage inspired classic 1950s pinup almost kind of packaging. I mean, as you can see from. So I think when they first came out, that was very like a little bit ahead of its time. And now with everything that's come out, I think the balm has kind of fallen behind. They're still doing the same thing that they've always done, which if it's not broke, don't fix it. But you don't really hear anybody talk about their stuff anymore, which I think is such a shame because their products are good. So we're going to go into Word on the Street, which is this pink one. I'm going to go in with a smaller, fluffy brush, maybe. Okay, we'll use this little one. Let me clean it off here. And then we'll go in with that light pink shade. And I'm going to take that kind of half on, half off of where I put that red, just to kind of blend out those edges a little bit more. Soften that line just a little bit. Okay, then I'm going to go back in with that red shade. And here, just to kind of deepen that up just a little bit, because I want it to look more red than pink. All right, and then maybe with a smaller brush. Which one? I need to clean these brushes out. Maybe this kind of one. Ooh, it's a very compact little, this is a Luxie mini flat angled. I'm going to go in with Scandalous, which is this dark shade, and we're going to put that in the outer corner. Okay. See how pigmented this is. I'm just concentrating it just on the outer part, and then I'll go back over it again with the red. Doesn't really want to stick on where my lid is. It could be the brush too. Sometimes these smaller Luxie brushes, I have a problem. Let me go in with the one that we started with just to see if that makes a difference. Okay. Go back in with that red, because I don't necessarily want to look brown out there, but I want it to be a little bit darker, have some dimension. That shade I think is just okay, and it could be because I put it on top of the red. I don't know, sometimes when you start layering a bunch of shadows, I think that looks fine now that I've put the red back in and kind of blend it out. Even within the same palette, sometimes shadows don't play well together. Okay. I'm trying to think. Do I want to do gold on the lid with this? Or I'm thinking either the gold or this white. Maybe we'll go in with the white and then I can do some gold towards the edge. Maybe we'll do that. Okay. I have primer down already. I'm going to go in with my NYX glitter primer and make it a little more tacky. I'm using bases that I am familiar with, just so I can see how the shadows perform, because if I go in with their primer and there's an issue like with that brown, then I don't know if it's their primer or if it's the shadow. At least if I use primers that I'm familiar with, I can eliminate generally that it's the primer, because I'm using something that I know how it performs with most things. So just going in with my finger to give it the most impact. These are pretty pigmented, so I'll probably go in with a brush and be fine. I've started doing this recently. So I went in with Spill the Beans, which was the white, and then I'm going to go in with On the Down Low, which is the gold. And we're going to put the gold on the edge right there. Oh, that's pretty. I like that. Okay, let's do a little bit more gold going in towards the red. And that helped me blend out that line without having to do a whole lot. That's pretty. I like that combination a lot. Okay, so I'm gonna go in with a flat brush. I can take that white again. Take that down into the inner corner, because that is blinding. Okay, I'm not sure. I think I'm going to take the light brown and maybe the dark brown on the lower lash. Go in with this Moda brush. I need to clean all my brushes, but using the color switch helps. So we're going to go back into Ooh La La, which was the brown. Probably going to layer. I'm going in with the light brown, and then I'll go in with the dark brown. And then I'll probably go in with the light brown again just to blend it out. Okay, so let's go back into Scandalous, which is the dark brown. And then we'll put some light brown underneath. I had to diffuse that a little bit. Okay. I am going to finish my other eye off camera, do mascara and liner, and then I'll come back and give you my final thoughts on this palette. Okay, so this is the finished look. I did both eyes, put mascara, liner on. Forgive me, my hair is still a mess. I like this palette a lot. I think the mattes are easy to blend. I had an easier time with this darker shade on this eye. I used a different brush, so I'm gonna say it was the brush that I had issues with on this side. So go in with a little bit, not quite so dense of a brush with this shade, and it works fine. I did it on the lower lash line. This side's starting to look a little, because my eye's running, but the metallics in here are beautiful. I'm interested to play with these because I think this dark primer is gonna look really cool underneath this like duochrome tell-all shade. So I'm excited to play around with this more, and I think it would look really beautiful under the gold too and really make it like deeper, darker. So yeah, I like this palette. I don't know how much this costs. This was an add-on item through Ipsy, so I will look it up and leave it down below, but you can get it on the Balms website, possibly at Ulta. I'll look and see where it's sold and leave you the actual retail price, but I really do like this palette, and I think the look came out really pretty. I need to curl my eyelashes again. This is a struggle every day, but yeah, so I like this palette. I recommend it. I think it's great. So yeah, if you've never used anything from the Balm, definitely check them out. I really like this brand. And yeah, that's everything that I have. Make sure you are subscribed before you leave, and hopefully you have a wonderful day. Bye, everybody.